At first glance, a document may be intimidating. So let's start by breaking it down into more manageable parts. To read and transcribe a document, we first need to understand its context. In this video, we'll explore how important contextualizing a document is to understanding its context. To begin, do not start transcribing right away. Instead, start with a brief scan to identify the document's different contextual elements. Who is sending and receiving the document, where they might be in the world, the time in which they were writing, and any other factors that might impact the document. In short, you want to identify the document's people, period, places, and personality. While the first three are often written on the back of the document, try to identify this information through the context of the letter first.
Beginning our scan, we can see that this document is a letter because it has a salutation at the top and a signature at the bottom. The salutation, the opening line of the letter, contains information about the receiver's identity. It can include a name, initials, a descriptive phrase, an expressive greeting, or an endearment. This salutation says L-O-F-A. Because there is a colon and only 4 letters, it's likely an abbreviation. We'll need to find out more before we can properly identify the receiver. However, the sender is Phineas Pemberton, which is evident from his legible and often recognizable signature.
To the left of the signature, Phineas has written the period and place. This is different to how you will traditionally see the period and place written in correspondences, which is in the top right corner. Deviations and idiosyncrasies such as these are elements of the document's personality. These characteristics will be easier to identify and analyze as you gain context and experience. In this letter, the date resembles our modern way of recording dates, with the exception of this character, known as a thorn. We'll discuss the thorn further in other videos. You can also consult the transcription manual for more information about it.
In this instance, the thorn functions as the, so we can see our period is May the 1st, day 1670. Quakers use a unique dating system that we'll discuss further in the transcription guidelines video. Additionally, you can consult the dates section in the transcription manual.
The place is written above this. Here we have another abbreviation, evidenced by the colon. We don't have enough context to identify this at the moment, so we'll move on and revisit it.
Now, let's look at the body of the letter. Think about what information you learned in the first Build a Base step, letter shapes, vocabulary, and background information, and use that to guide your scan. Look for any words that jump out to you. Some immediately evident words are liberty, harsh, prison, and prisoners. If you consulted the glossary before your scan, you might recognize sessions, which were presided over by justices. From seeing these words and knowing Quakers often faced religious persecution in England throughout the period we identified, we can guess that this letter likely concerns imprisonment and legal discussions.
This context provides additional insight into the content of the document. The glossary also contains the word castle, defining it as another word for prison, and one that fits within the context gained from our scan. Looking back at our place, we can see the letters C, A, S, T, E, L, a variant spelling of castle. Knowing that Lancashire Castle was home to both the Pembertons and the beginning of Quakerism, we can infer that L.A. abbreviation is likely Lancaster Castle. Now that our scan has helped us identify our missing place, what about our missing receiver?
At the end of our scan, we can see the valediction, or closing salutation, dutiful son. This reveals our receiver to be Phineas's father, Ralph Pemberton. While the abbreviated salutation was unclear without context, when combined with the valediction, L-O-F-A becomes loving father.
Now that we know more about the document's context and content, consider the document as a physical artifact. Look for characteristics that reflect what we've learned so far. These characteristics are the document's personality. The paper is stained and has holes. The hand is cramped and the ink dark. We discussed earlier how Phineas's placement of the place and period differs from what you'll traditionally see. While we can't ask Phineas his reason for this, as historians we can guess. When considered with the physical appearance of the document and the placement of the salutation, which seems as if it was added in the margin, these might be Phineas's ways of maximizing the space of the paper available to him. This aligns with what we know about the document's place. Both paper and light were scarce in prisons. Phineas likely began his letter first, before writing the salutation and the place/period, to ensure that he had enough room to write all he wished to say. After completing the letter, he likely used the available space to add missing elements.
Context not only helps us understand a document's content, it also creates a bigger picture of a document's place within different networks of connections, both locally, within the Pemberton Papers collection, and more expansively within the print digital archive. By identifying a document's people, period, places, and personality, we can explore the influence of these contextual elements on the document and its contents. Using a document's context to frame its content creates a clearer picture of the text you are transcribing. Creating this picture makes it easier to recognize words and identify aspects of the document associated with its context. In this video, we covered how individual words shape our understanding of a document. In our next video, we'll look at how individual letters shape our understanding of words.